Since the dawn of time, young boys and girls of all ages have once thought to themselves, damn, she kinda bad, while watching their morning broadcasts of Max and Ruby. Right, guys? Now, some of us kept it in our minds, and some of us expressed it more, let's just say, lively. But in the end, almost everybody on this planet has watched TV and at least somewhat liked the character, or even gone straight down bad for them. So in this video today, I'm going to be covering Smashable characters that I have and that I think are simply underrated draft picks, sleeper builds, and simply beautiful. Alright, so first up on my list, we got a little something light, something that you probably thought about too. Tweety Bird. Now hear me out, but seriously, what that mouth do though? Now growing up, me and my dad would always sit at the TV to watch Looney Tunes, because back in my dad's prehistoric age, during the age of no on-demand TV and no Netflix, he had to watch shows as they appeared, and Looney Tunes was one of the only shows he actually waited for to watch. But since then, when me and him sat down to watch TV, he would pop in a CD looking thing straight into the CD player looking thing, and boy oh boy did we have fun. Now not gonna lie, I have a lot of good memories of this show in general, as it was one of the first shows where I actually bonded with my dad over, and we learned some pretty good life lessons too, like if someone hits you first, just hit them back harder, and birds are low-key bad. Yo, wait, that's bestiality. Okay, moving on. Now next up, we got Anya for Tamari. Now Tamari is actually an underrated draft pick though, if you only think about the Shippuden version of her rather than that Boruto version of her, because not gonna lie, since my childhood watching Naruto on YouTube, in the bottom left hand corner of 3 ads, she has had my heart, and still to this day. Now before you say, why don't you choose Sakura or Miss Chio? Well, it's just because I just do. Now moving on though, we got that one girl from the Karate Kid, but black. Okay, not gonna lie, I totally forgot her name, but I still remember that sweet face. And before you say, isn't she like 8 years old? I'm talking about present day, because look, she is an underrated draft pick to many people because she's a real one. She was willing to stay with bum Jaden Smith when he couldn't even do karate and got beat up in front of her. That shows loyalty, and that's a trait that is just like bread and butter, chicken rice. It's something that is perfect and I will never stop liking. Now moving on though, although this is from an anime we already talked about, she still holds a special place in my heart just from all the peak scenes she has from fighting and being a straight menace. And that's no other than Tsunade. Now this one is pretty self-explanatory, and although this is not underrated at all, it is still and was a very important aspect to me and a lot of others, so I just felt the need to share this majestic, incredible, and absolutely perfect creation. Now, just don't Google her. Some of y'all are actually weird. But for the next character, I need y'all to hear me out and listen very carefully, because to some, this may seem extreme, absurd, or even wrong, but let me explain. Beatrice from ReZero. Beatrice, although she may look young, and I hate having to say this, but actually, according to the writers, she's over 400 years old, and she is actually in the body of a child because she's a spirit in a smaller form. But look, she is just so cute and adorable. Okay, let me move on. Mulan, but the guy version before they found out. I'm not gay or anything, I just think she looks better with her hair tied up. And she can also cook really good too, but with how she's acting, I'll probably be doing no cooking. But hey, she's kind, cares about her family, snuck into war and killed people. But hey, if she loves me, and I won't complain. And last but not least, there's still more, and that is Kaede from The Boy and the Beast. Now, if you watched this movie when it first came out like I did, you would understand, because she is a strong character that holds her anger, but also helps people with their anger whenever needed. And throughout the film, she is caring to my boy and even helps him learn math, English, and all the stuff he should have learned but didn't, because he was in that other world. And she didn't even judge him once for that. She understood the assignment and just helped the brother out. Now, although this isn't my full roster, because that would simply just take too long, I did just want to show off some of the ones I thought were the most underrated and overlooked. And before we end, I want to give a brief talk on some honorable mentions that were some of my childhood favorites when I was younger. So, without further ado, the honorable mentions are Ruby from Max and Ruby, Kim Possible, basic I know, but you can't blame me. Sailor Mars, obvious, much I say less. Sehyeon from Girls' Generation, not a character, I just liked her. Emma Richu's little drawing. And finally, in my opinion, I probably should have put this one in the video, but without further ado, it's Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service.